And then you'll be something. Hot doodly doo. Sit. Hello Dylan, how are you? A happy Wednesday evening to you, if it is indeed the evening. How are you today? Welcome on in, first one here too. Lovely to have you. Where are we now? Are you having an excellent day? I hope so. I'm glad to be away from my desk. Poor Mrs. Owl has had to go back to work. The day not done for her quite yet. So, hopefully going to make her a delicious dinner. I've been told many things rest upon the success of this dinner. I think generally state of happiness. Doing good, excellent, that's what I like to hear, Dylan. Marvellous. What we are going to tackle in a fairly gentle sort of way is nothing more than dinner, really. However, our favourite Italian sauce that we often just buy was out of stock. So I thought, what the heck? Find a couple of recipes, look on the back of the jar that we use frequently, because it comes all the way from Italy, and see whether or not we can replicate something simple and similar. And, ooh, my parsley is wilting. Stay there. There we go. If nothing else, it's a nice green background. So that's all we're going to try and do. I've already gone off-piste before we've even started, I'll confess, because the sauce does not have carrot as one of the principal ingredients. However, when cooking an Italian sauce, they basically have a holy trifecta. I don't know if I might be preaching to the choir, I'm sorry if I am. However, most Italian sauces will begin with carrot, celery, and underneath my parsley, which is falling over a bit, there, onion. And that's it, it's just the three cooked together. My plan is basically we're going to get everything chopped and everything ready, quite small, quite diced. We're then going to start up with some oil in a pan. Got a bag full of chilies here, so I'm going to add a few of those in. We've got our parsley, we've got a spot of basil, so we'll get the sauce going. We'll add in the trifecta, and then once everything's kind of wilted down a little bit, got a basis of the sauce, we're going to add, and I picked tomato passata for this, mostly because it's as good a tomato we're going to get out of season, basically. Not branded or anything, we're not sponsored, it's just happened to like Napolina because it actually Italian, as we can see from the flag. So I'll just wash a bit off this stalk of celery. There we go. So now we'll do just some basic prep. Oh, here, Mrs. Owl.
Yeah, I'm upstairs here. You've just been talking about me, haven't you?
Oh, I thought you were already working, my love. I'm sorry. I did not mean to talk about you in the third person, as though you weren't here. Omega Phoenix is here, although Omega Phoenix, you are not the first. Young Dylan, in fact, has beaten you to it. But how are you? Much as your game of marbles with us, you've taken a noble second place. I am mean, aren't I? How dare I? You okay, my love? Okay-ish?
No.
No?
Not in the slightest bit okay.
I would just say stop, but I know that you know best.
I need to carry on.
All right, my love. I'll give you a heads up when we're nearly ready. Okay?
Make it good.
I will do my very best to make this outstanding. Omega, ouch. I only say it because it's not true, and you are in fact the pole position winner for Marbles on Stream. You are still number one. You're at 19 points, if I remember correctly. So I can rib you gently because you always come in at the last minute and maintain your most excellent lead. But how are you, sir? How is your day going today? We are just starting with the basics for the sauce. There's a lot of prep involved in this because we're going to, in literal sense I suppose, build it from the ground up. And we're starting with the Italian holy trifecta that is carrot and celery and onion. So, and hopefully I'm doing this so you can see, but they're very, very small pieces because really, ultimately, this is going to hopefully disappear into naught but flavour. That is the hope. So let's start with, I probably should have, piece of carrot overboard. Go and get this. I hope you're having a marvellous day. Hello, Fox, how are you? Goodness gracious, I am privileged. How are you doing, Fox? I'm so sorry, I dropped into lurk and then some part way through the day, my app just decided to completely give up. So I have been absent with or without technology. Sort of AWOL, but what? AWOT. Oh, so you just made a stew. Excellent. Lovely. Hello, Tindrick as well. Tindrick, how are you? Welcome on in. Are you well, sir? How's your Wednesday going? And what's in the stew, Fox? I'd love a good stew in winter. You can't really go wrong with a good stew. In fact, we were just talking about that, Mrs. Allen and I, the other day. That could do with making some pies and some hearty stews. Maybe even a Christmas pie, something like pork and cranberry and apple. Hand-raised pie kind of affair. It had an absolutely stunning Wednesday. Is that actually stunning, or is that with perhaps a note of weariness and thank goodness it's come to the end of the day? I hope it is the former. If it's the latter, Mrs. Owl shares your feelings. She's just gone back to work, even though she basically finished work hours ago, technically. So hopefully this will... Oh, hello. You started well and you had me at beef and potato, Fox. I didn't actually get past the first two. Beef, potatoes, peppers, onions. Oh, hello. Just went to get the little one from the car. Oh, all right. Very, very good. Jolly, jolly good. Yeah, Fox. That sounds delightful. It really, really does. You should do some food streams yourself, Fox. Shall get everyone doing food streams. I'll start some kind of trend. I'm not really much of a trendsetter, if I'm honest. Although I have, I think to the horror of people, I'm the first person for the 1800s to have joined TikTok. It's a bewildering place. I rage 7 Days to Die. We should tag team. Absolutely, Fox. It's on. We will absolutely do that. The stream viewers are all putting their money in a pot and getting you a professional knife set. You deserve. Oh, that's very kind of you. This is my TikTok is. It is funny, isn't it, Omega? It is. This is my favourite for vegetables. It's also Mrs. Al's favourite as well. It's nice and small. It's kind of. I've got quite a big hand. I know it may not look like it on screen, but the handle fits quite nicely, and especially if you are using your knuckle to guide, I can use the rest of it. So effectively, I end up with one finger pointing forward, wrapped around, and the other one, if I wanted a speed chop, I try not to when I'm streaming, because if I do that, or if I even use that one, and I'm trying to read chat at the same time, you know what'll happen is it will get... that knife is how the kid say very... oh, Fox, don't ask me. Sorry, Dylan, even don't ask me. I have no idea about the ins and outs of the thing. I'm using it at the moment to put the baking projects and things on. The sorts of things that would otherwise take me hours, I can... Oh, savage is what they say. Oh, right. I'm very sorry as well. The Twitch app, God bless it, it lets me do what I do in the kitchen, but when it doesn't work, it really doesn't work. And what it's decided to do is drop a massive white bar right through the end of chat, so I can only actually get about 4/5 of everybody's messages, so I have to guess what the rest are. Oh, dear me. But it seems there's a lot of people on that social media. There was ever a statement made from an elder statement. There's a lot of people on that social media thing. Oh, dear me. I can tell this is going to be a lovely curry. You're close, Tinswick. You're very close. We are making Italian tonight. We are making Arrabiata sauce. But you're not far off, because, and I know why you thought curry, is because, and it does kind of show that the culinary techniques of the world do have some kind of common ancestry, is it all starts with building your sauce from scratch. So if I was doing, for example, full gobi, I would be starting with asafoetida, I'd be starting with... what goes in asafoetida? What goes into full gobi? You'd be starting with that, and cumin, probably fennel seeds as well, maybe methi seeds, and start with a really hot pan, and then you get all of that in, and that starts the basis, and then you build on that, and you add your various chili and your garlic and anything else that's hopping in on top. Italian sauce is not really that much different. It's just slight change. So you've got sweet notes of the carrot, and you've got, again, quite the sweetness of the onion as well, and then you've got the nice notes of the celery. Will cut across that too. We're going to follow that by grating garlic. I'm even contemplating grating the chilies over it as well, just as kind of, rather than being something you bite into, like getting a big lump of garlic in your mouth or a big bite of chili, we might just be able to grate them over the top, so we get what we really want is the flavour. So this, for the moment, is just basic prep. So let's move on to the onion. Let's not lose the onion. So honestly, I can't believe it's Wednesday already. I mean, we had the week off, and it seems like it was only Sunday yesterday. So I still haven't planned what on earth I'm doing tomorrow. We might go back to our normal RimWorld slot, or I might see if my friend who really wanted to play 7 Days to Die, as well as Fox, of course. I've got two people lined up, particularly who want to play 7 Days to Die, but I promised him quite a while ago. If he's free, I might see if he would like to play. Or, because I know he's a very busy chap, we will go and chill out in our RimWorld colony and just have a nice evening of relaxation. Now, I want this quite thin. I also don't want that bit, so let's lose that. Super Fox, thank you very much. We will work it out. In fact, I've got lots of offers at the moment. I still have to teach Omega Phoenix how to use rocket launchers and deploy them to massive advantage. And I still have to, at some point, engage democracy in his stream again. We'll get him to not just sing, but dress up in his nautical sailor's uniform. I've been playing a lot of RimWorld in your spare time. It's fantastic, isn't it? It is a game you can go back to and play again and again and again. It has huge replay value. Oh, I tell you what, I should have done these in the blender. Oof, my eyes. Oh, goodness gracious. I know what it is as well, as I've actually cut out the end bits, which is where immediately it releases all that lovely spray, basically, into your eyes. I should leave them to the end, but old habit. Old habits, they do die hard. I say you can't teach an old dog new tricks. If I'm from the 1800s, I think my tricks are fairly well embedded these days. Sadly. There we are, right. That's pretty darn small. Just a bit more, maybe. Mrs. Owl is looking for an excellent meal this evening. So, how far have you got along, Tindrick? Have you got to the point where you build the spaceships or anything like that? Well, I'm now at the point where I actually can't see chat at all, but that's because of the tears in my eyes. Actually, we did a very nice thing happen today, which was one of our Christmas decorations has arrived. He's one of the Swedish gonks, you know, the gnomes with the big nose and the big hat. And we've named him Arthur. So I'll put a picture of him up on social media at some point. He's Arthur the Gonk. And he has a light up beard, which is, I think, particularly fun. Just been playing it casually. That is also the nice thing as well. You can set it to the random mode and have a real kind of, as we do with ours, you never know what's coming around the corner. You can put the sandbox mode on. You can take a halfway house. We've got 2 more coming. We're going to have 3 in the end. So Arthur is the first one. I don't know what we'll name the other 2. So, truth be told, I could probably have done this all in the blender, but honestly, we were working so late and I hadn't got the blender set up. It's a case of, well, just crack in, I think. Now, oddly enough, this was quite a big onion, so I'm just going to mix this together because you want kind of an even blend of all 3 sets of ingredients. So let's actually, truth be told, I should have picked a much larger bowl. This was perhaps a foolishly sized bowl. Let's have a look. Let's just. In fact, actually, I'm being totally thick. Wait a minute. Let's mix this in the pan where it's going to cook anyway, and let's just see what the balance is like. Because if you fancy doing this kind of thing, it really is. I'm probably making it look harder than it is. It is really quite straightforward. So here we go. That's it in the pan. And once I've dropped it in the pan, I can see I've got nowhere near enough onions. So let's carry on. And we'll drop the rest in. Oh, dear me, I can't see anything. Ah! Oh, God. Are you never tempted to take a fistful and just eat it raw? Do you know, I have in Italy, because in Italy they have a type of onion called trapea. And a trapea onion is so flavoursome, but so mild and so sweet, you can actually eat it like an apple. And when we were out there, we did. But as it is these, I've never in fact... Oh, God, Bennett, I just lost a... Oh dear, lost a bit to the floor. 5-second rule does not apply when you're making what hopes to be the perfect Arrabiata sauce. nor indeed because I've not vacuumed since this morning. So that one can go into the food graveyard post stream. Oh dear me. So there we go. Besides that, I hope everyone has been having a truly marvellous day. Oh dear. And that all is well in your corners of the world. In fact, had we not been doing this, I mean, honestly, it's the kind of weather that's dark outside, which would actually been perfect just to order in food. I never cry when cutting onions. Fox, I could do with your eyeballs. In a non-horror game style way. I think you could use them far better than I can. I think they should stay exactly where they are, of course. I mean that in the most metaphorical of senses. Before I get reported to Twitch for basically being Hannibal Lecter. Keep your tongue pressed to... You know what? I tried that. It must be an emotional wimp for onions. Oh, dear me. Right. Oops. Little Red Fox. Cold as ice. Well, we've seen Little Red Fox ploughing through among us. We know that she is basically a delightfully lovely assassin from across the pond. No one would suspect her. Oh dear. And because I couldn't see, I hadn't chopped that properly. So let's just make sure I'm doing this justice. Pew, pew, pew indeed, Fox. Pew, pew. I actually saw it, and this gave me a real laugh during the day. Someone did a clip where they got caught in Among Us, jumping into a vent, and tried to use the ambit of, do you not know that there is a new task to clean the vents? That was genuinely got me, that. That was hilarious. Didn't work, funnily enough. Oh dear. Wow, Tingerbit, that went dark quickly. Bloody hell. Your poignant moments over poignant moments over onions. I know, Omega. I'm just a big softy at heart. Big softy. Right, let's get these slowly just sweating down, because we don't want to cook them too hard too fast. So drop a little bit of groundnut oil in there. Groundnut just happens to be our oil of preference. You could use olive oil, is far more traditional. And as ever, of course. Oh, I say, I appear to be missing my salt. Right. This is a big bag of salt. Where's my pepper? Find the pepper. Oh dear me. Oh dear. Oh, there we go. Right. If in doubt, spot of pepper. Always goes well. Right. And just a little, I'm going to go for just a pinch of salt to start with, because we can adapt to taste as we go along. There we go. Right, so that's stage one, basically. So I'll just let that slowly start to come together and form the basis of our sauce. Right. And we'll grab the camera and pan over in just a minute. Right, what's next? I think what would be best next is, let's get some herbs together. So we've got some nice fresh parsley that came from the greengrocer just this morning. You have a lot of salt. You must drink a lot of tequila. We've had this salt for quite a long time. It's one of those kind of basic cooking salt. I need to actually go and get some better salt. So let's do the same again, using what is admittedly a small sharp knife. Let the knife do most of the work. Just guide it over. You'll forgive me, chat, if I'm not looking at you whilst I do this, because I know what Murphy's Law is. I'll lose a finger. It's snowing. Oh, how lovely, Fox. Oh, marvellous. There's no evidence to suggest it's salt. I promise it's salt. I don't just have a massive drug problem that I've decided to announce in the most unusual and fairly brazen of ways. So, it's snowing a lot, folks. Does it look like it's going to stick? Nice thing is, if I start off with a little, you can always add this in as we go along. Because truth be told, the jars of sauce we have, I don't really get a big taste of basil from it when we do it. So, sorry, parsley, I beg your pardon. So, let's just do a little of each and we'll work it up. Expecting a snowstorm, let's say. I'm expecting rain. You know, a little bit of ASMR chat smell. Here we go. It's, Arunon, hello, send me a jar of sauce. Do you know what? That would be a great giveaway if I could do it and not basically fear that I would have a jar of sauce arrive to people just smashed. I want to try making pheasant crock pot with it. What do I say? Very posh. Well, I can tell you the name of the sauce that we buy when we're not making, as we are tonight. Also, by the way, Arunan, welcome to the roost. Welcome to the stream. That was the word I was looking for. I hope you are well and having a lovely Wednesday. Whatever you may be doing and wherever you may be, we are making Arrabiata sauce to go with a basic fresh pasta and vegetable dinner. Something nice, comforting, highly Italian, and I've even got a little bit of parmesan. I'm currently cooking pheasant in the slow cooker. Oh, how lovely. Well, the sauce that we normally buy, honestly, we buy it through Amazon. Amazon seems to be conquering the world at the moment. But it's a sauce that actually comes from Italy. It's called Barilla. Barilla, I think. And it's just their basic Arrabiata sauce. Pheasant, bacon and mushroom in cream gravy. Ooh, oh, I say. That sounds rather good. Sounds rather excellent, in fact. Right. So, that's just... so what we've got at the moment, sorry, Aaron, is our trifecta. So our celery and onions and carrots are just gently cooking in a little mild seasoning. We're going to move on. Just check I've not got any garlic. I have some garlic in the fridge. Excellent. Right. Now, I'm cooking to my audience. Mrs. Owl is not a fan of too much garlic. Local shop had cleaned and dressed the birds for sale. £4.27 per bird. I say that's a bargain at half the price. Goodness gracious me. Amazon is conquering the world, but the world is conquering the Amazon rainforest. That is sadly very true, Dylan. And we all must stand up where we can and support local businesses, such as those that you can probably just see just off shot. We buy all of our groceries from as nearby as we can get, be it they grown in greenhouses or otherwise. But you are absolutely right about the Amazon. You are indeed right. So, what I'm going to... This is a technique, by the way, folks, I sell for free. I give away for free, because I stumbled upon it for free. This is when we did the Gordon Ramsay 10-minute pasta challenge, well, blimey, half a year ago now, at least, probably more, where he did it for speed, but there was a reason behind it. Instead of chopping the garlic, he grated it straight onto the food. Oh, Omega, already. I hope you enjoyed them. And Fox, I hope yours reaches you and we get past customs. I do hope they make it. I hope you enjoyed, Omega. And indeed, as for the letter, I indeed, of course, meant every word. So, a little clean as we go. So let's just, before I make a mess. Yes, I'm hoping so too. Otherwise, we might have to go and I don't know, fight our way through customs. However, your country's lovely, so I don't really want to start a fight with someone in customs, if I'm being brutally honest. Right, let's just put things away, because I'm making a bit of a mess as I go along. So, No worries. Enjoy your learning. Folks, I'm going to bring you over to the cooking. I'm going to apologise for the mess. I literally, as I say, went from work to stream, so everything is a bit cluttered, to be honest. But I figured it'd be nicer to turn up and have your good company than to not and have a pristine kitchen instead. So let's get this out of the way. This is literally fresh pasta from a supermarket, but at some point we will prepare our own. Maybe when we've got a bit longer, maybe on a Sunday or something. So all we're going to do is we've got, as you can probably see here, it's just slowly starting to cook its way down. That's going to be the basis of the sauce. There we go. So what I'm going to do is going to take our clove of garlic and chop that bit off because that doesn't look very nice. And then holding it by the rough end, just grate it on. Also, just actually forgetting the other tip is only go down the grater, because otherwise you actually blunt the metal. So there we go, and once it's collected there, just run your finger along it and drop it off. And this is actually a pretty cheap grater that we got from just a small independent store. It only cost me £2, so I use this one fairly exclusively for garlic and citrus. And I remember to clean it in between, because otherwise you'd have a fairly horrible pudding. I suppose unless you like garlic pudding. So I'm just rubbing it off the back. There we go. So that with that end. Just stir that through. So instantly, that's just basically, because it's already grated, it's just melted with the heat, and now it's just forming in and making part of the base for the sauce. I should do one more small clove only. Oops, come on. Well, it would help if I held the grater the right way around. But Erin, that pheasant of yours sounds marvellous. I hope it goes well. It sounds delightful. Not often that you get pheasant readily accessible. Oops, there it is. So actually that was a really small one, so let's get rid of those bits. Let's try not to drop everything. Been a long sort of day, a long time since the last cup of coffee. That's going to be my excuse. Not ineptitude. So let's just stir that last little bit in there. Turn the heat down a bit more because we want this soft, not caramelising. There we go. Now, before we put the herbs in, I think it might be an opportune time if I pan us over here. Speaking of pan, let's move that. Don't need that just yet. Let's get just a little bit kitchen foil prepared for this next bit. Because what I'll do is turn that down, and I'm going to just chop, because as well as this is a real nice big unctuous kind of veggie dish, we like to put in, where is it, hang on, the smallest one. We've got courgette and pepper going straight in with the pasta. In fact, remind me first, has anyone actually, have we done the 10-minute pasta challenge so long ago? Does anyone actually remember it? Would you like us to do it again? Because Mrs. Al would not complain, it's one of her favourite pasta dishes. Which is basically, it's Gordon Ramsay's 10-minute prawns and pasta. But it's actually more fun to cook it slowly than to try and cook it inside of 10 minutes, it really is. Why not 5 minutes? I didn't remember, but do it again, do it again, do it again. There you go, Fox. Democracy has spoken. I dare say Mrs. Al will be happy on a Wednesday to be presented with one of her favourite pasta dishes. Why not 5 minutes? Honestly, Dylan, I tried this, and Mrs. Al had to eventually nicely guide me in the direction of the truth that says the reason he can do it in 10 minutes is because he's a Michelin-starred chef. The best I managed after 3 attempts was to manage it in 13 minutes. And I actually at that point said, in terms of doing it as a time trial run, that I could quite frankly do no more. But I don't know, if I announce it well enough in advance, maybe we could just do a cook-along stream. So if I tell everyone what the ingredients are and we can prepare it together, we can cook it together, and we can all see what we think. The only problem will be time zones, because people might be eating at very odd times, I suppose. But apart from that, now, got a lot of veg in there. Twitch streamer speedruns pasta. I don't think they've got a tag for that, in fairness, but... quite good fun now. Okay, so all of this is fresh as well, so I've been washing all of the veg either before or as we're going along. So that's a little bit of exculpatory knife work. So crack open. Sorry it's at a bit of a distance, but at least you get to be nice and close and just see how the sauce is coming along. So let's just take out all the, you don't want really any of the white bits, that's not going to add anything, so just running along, just take out anything before we grab our knife, and we'll just do some small cuts along just to lose those. And also as well, you can do worse than cut along the fault lines of it, and then it gives you really easy access. And then just slide the knife along and remove. There we go. Oops. Right, so let's just finish that off. I tell you something, it smells rather nice in here. Hopefully it tastes as good, because this is Mrs. L's last working day of the week, but she's, bless her heart, tired out. And this is one of her favourite meals when we make it using the sauce, so I don't want to give her something substandard. Not really. She deserves a bit better than that, bless her heart. So let's just cut this out, try not to lose any additional bits and bobs. I hope so, Fox. She's always she always tells me the truth. She'll always tell me if it's not spot on. Sorry, I'm going to get my close up of my arm there. Oh, bless you, Fox. It's lovely of you to say. Right, I think actually we're going to get close to wanting to put these herbs in. So let's, what the heck, caution to the wind a little bit. So there we go. A little bit of basil, a little bit of parsley. And let's let that keep building up. Little by little, spot more of pepper, and we're getting quite close to actually moving it all over to a pan, and then we're going to do our first taste test, because after that we can really gauge what else we want to put in it, whether or not it needs a bit more heat, if it's got too much heat in its again, I'm sorry folks if this is teaching anyone to suck eggs, culinary speaking, but if you ever make anything too hot, drop a little bit of sugar back into it. And if you've not got sugar, you could try citrus, would do the trick. And ultimately, if you've got neither, provided that you can have dairy, mixing just a little bit of creme fraiche or some yoghurt will do the trick very nicely. I've done that before making, God, I can't remember what I was making actually, but basically I made it so strong it threatened to blow our heads off, which is neither use nor ornament really. Right. We're getting some nice Italian smells, but I can already smell not quite enough salt coming from that. So, as I once said, it's the meat chap, isn't it? The salt chap who does the a little bit more. So let's get that mixed in. Now, one thing I'm going to do in the future is I'm going to get myself a pestle and mortar, something I've not got, because I have a feeling that because I'm going to de-seed the chilies in a moment, and I might bring you back across for that actually, so let's drop that in there, and let's pan back over to the chaos side of the kitchen. There we go. Right, because what I'm going to do is de-seed the chilies, because they are in fact rather large chilies. I bought 5 just in case, but I want it to be warming, because I'll tell you little stories and a little bit of decaffeinated Al's story time. When we first went on holiday to Italy together, because I'd been to Italy before, it was a lovely experience, it was marvellous, but I did make certain mistakes during the trip, including completely misreading a map. In case anyone wants to know, what I'm doing is I'm slicing vertically, no, I'm not slicing vertically, what am I talking about? I'm slicing horizontally. And I'm just using this because I'm trying to minimise my exposure with my hands, because you know chili burns quite bad. I would use my gloves that are under there, but I'd have to show you my face. I'm now just going to run my knife along the inside into the waste bag over there, just to take all of the seeds out. So let's just run that along. So there we go. So we go from that with a lot of seeds to none at all. I say, we have a dramatic reading has been redeemed. Tingewick, what would you like as your dramatic reading? I might struggle at this point because I've not got my laptop, and I don't have. I could do it with my phone, but my phone is right there. And I've just realised I've done this wrong, so I was going to grate. I tell you what, we'll chop one and we'll grate the other. Tindrick, it might be that I'll have to suffice you with a sonnet tonight, and perhaps if we can lure you back tomorrow when I'm at my computer, I will give you the dramatic reading. I'm so sorry, I've not actually got a way to give you one, but what would you like for tomorrow? And just to give you examples, the lovely Meowkai in the past has requested, for example, I'm a Bad Guy by Billie Eilish. We've done the Bloodhound Gang. Somebody did try to sneak the song WAP through the net. However, Mrs. Al warned me what that stood for. And because my nieces and nephews do sometimes watch this, there are limits. You remember it? Was it Omega tried to? I don't know who it was, but whoever it was a marvelous effort. I believe WAP is a very Christian song. Unless we're thinking of different songs, Tindrick. The one I was introduced to was, shall we say, not. Not really. Right, we're going to mix in. I'm just going to stick my nose in it. Let's just see how we're smelling. We're smelling good, if I'm honest. I'm liking this so far. So far, so good. I am, however, making a colossal mess, which I shall have to clean later. A Christmas song. It is not. You cheeky monkeys, you know it's not a Christmas song. Right, I have not tried the grating trick with a chili before. It's one for your nana. Not unless I think you want therapy for the rest of your life. If you think of one, Tindrick, I'll either give you, I can give you a sonnet this evening on your dramatic reading tomorrow. It will not be lost. What would you like? What have you got in mind? Please don't ask for WAP. I can't do that. That's the one thing I can't do. Hang on. Can I reach? Just going to see if I can reach my. I can. Worship, atone, pray. That's how most of my days go, Fox, because of the mistakes I tend to make. Right, here we go. So I've actually managed to worship, attack, pray, not tried this before, so I've got one of my protective gloves. I'm going to see whether or not grating is a technique that works as well as the garlic. So this is a bit of experimentation. Maybe not the day to do it, given I'm trying to perfect a recipe, but we will be brave. We'll be brave, we'll be brave, we'll be brave. And so long as I also don't shred through my own glove. Pull out Bible gamers with... Oh dear me, is collective chat going to need a cold shower at some point? Oh dear me. Oh goodness gracious. Even I from the 1800s know what you're talking about, Bill. Any poem would do, a dramatic reading of your choice, as long as you're happy. In that case, Tidbit, I will find one for tomorrow. And even if you can't join us, I'll make sure that it's clipped so you can find it. Right, so now I'm at skin point. So I'm going to drop that out. Carefully do this, because otherwise this could get quite painful. So I don't want to cut through this with raw chili. So here we go. Oops. That has not worked, that's too hard. Because I have my Kindle with me, so I can do some Shakespearean sonnets. That's not even spicy chilies. It's not, Eranon, it's not. I'm building it up because I want to try and get as close to the jar of sauce that we buy as possible. In fact, the hottest chili and Arrabiata we ever had, and this is the story that I promised I would start and get back to. We went for our first holiday in Rome, and we were struggling to find anything to eat at all. You're so bad with spicy, your hand has turned blue. Yes, you turn away for a minute and I've gone part Smurf. Right, let's chop the rest of that. That as an experiment didn't really work as well as the garlic, so I don't think we'll repeat that. So let's just chop the rest of this up. Bit of left-handed chopping with ambidextrous nature. Mandolin cutter for those chilies. In fact, my family generally have the men of the family have such a bad record with sharp implements. I've been, I think, rightly banned from mandolins. So, however, we are going to put the next chili in. So, in fact, for those of us who recently joined us, we did do, this perhaps exemplifies the point, a Hot Ones challenge. I don't know if any of you are aware of the Hot Ones on... is it Hot Ones? It is Hot Ones on YouTube. Oh, look at that. And I just grabbed it with the non-gloved hand. That was maybe a bit thick. Right, well, I'm just going to have to wash my hands rather thoroughly, aren't I? And we actually did their challenge, their Hot Ones chicken wing challenge. But the truth is, Mrs. Owl and I don't actually readily eat a lot of hot food. So, rather than, it's almost as strong as chemically pure capsicum. Oh, blimey. Well, we have that. We've got a range of hot sauces in our fridge at the moment. And we actually did a thank you for reaching affiliate stream by doing a challenge with hot wings and Hot Ones, and we did pretty well. We got about as far as their equivalent of a da bomb, and I may return to it again in the future. It was good fun, that, but unfortunately, because of the Twitch DM strikes, they deleted it without warning before I could. Before I remembered to get it off and downloaded to a backup. So there's actually no record of it anymore. It's a bit of a shame. Now, let's get this chili in. Because we made, hang on, I shall whip it out, wait a sec. No, I won't. What I'll do is I'll wash my hands first, hang on. Twitch Dungeon Master strikes. Tidwell, you are very... I love it. It's very sharp humour. Very on the ball, very intellectual. I like it. Right, let's wash hands thoroughly. and get all of that off. Right. So, let's put the camera back properly as well. So that's that done with the chilies for now, I think. I can add more in, I can add it with some flakes too, but that's as much as I want to put in for now. So, now that that's been put together, I'm going to bring you back. Can you send links in chat? That's a good question, Tinderit. I don't know. You can certainly try. If you can't, put it in our Discord, and I will find it in due course. Or just whisper it to me. You know, I'm not bothered about these things. Right, so this is now, I'm happy to say, our trifecta. There it is. So we're going to add in some passata. I'm going to bring back the pan that we removed before. In fact, unfortunately, Tinderit, whatever you've said has been eclipsed by the link. So I actually now don't know what you said. But I will go back and have a look at it. But if in doubt, you can always send it to me privately. So we're going to, I think, actually get the passata into this pan. And I'm going to migrate across the ingredients and then get this onto a low simmer. So let's get that on. And then let's move across our base. Actually, no, we won't. We'll keep it close. Let's move it over here. Hello! Hello! Goodness gracious! Thank you very much, Joker Monkeys, raiding with 9 raiders. I say hello. How are you? Hello, welcome, welcome, welcome. How is everybody? You just caught us about to put our ingredients together. How is everybody? Welcome on in. What a lovely surprise. Hello, Rain. Hello, Joker. It's a link to a Kickstarter that have got the most powerful pepper grinder they're designing. You're doing good. Excellent. What are we cooking? Right, what we are cooking. And it's Hanakoi here. Hello, Hanakoi. Thank you very much, Aaron. We'll see you again. Enjoy your pheasant. We are making, ladies and gentlemen, who've just joined us, an Italian Arrabiata sauce. It's one of Mrs. Owl's favourites, and bless her heart, she's still working hard upstairs, even though the day is done. And what we've done is we've been making the base of our sauce, which, as we're mixing it in, is basically celery. You might still be able to see it. It's got some celery, onion and carrot, and we've got chilli and garlic. We're mixing that with some tomato passata because we're out of season for the best tomatoes, but the Italian passata will be lovely. So, you've actually arrived at just the right moment because I'm going to do the first taste test of all of this together. So let's... And Eranon also joined us, who was doing pheasant. So it's quite a culinary evening, this. So I'm going to just try and get a spoon here with everything on it, and we'll see whether or not this matches our jar of sauce or what we need. So here we go. It'll be a bit cold, but... Oh dear. That, to me... Oh, hang on. Wait a sec. Okay. The chilli arrives slowly. I like that. However, it does, in my view... I'm back. You've had a crying baby for a few minutes. Oh no. Omega, we've just been joined by a raid, and thank you very much, raiders. Thank you, Joker. Thank you, Rain. Thank you, everyone, for coming in. You are very, very welcome indeed. And hello, Hannah Cray. It's always lovely seeing you guys. I'm going to actually improvise my camera angle so you can see. Hang on a minute. I'm actually putting you on top of a tub. Hopefully this works. You're higher. Excellent. Right. I'm going to bend you down as much as I can. If I can't get you any further down, I can. Wait a sec. Sorry about the earthquake camera work. If I do it like that, you can see the chaos. Here we go. So, that needs, to me, more salt, more pepper, more herbs. Basically, it needs more... Hello, Lewis. Lewis, you star. Welcome on in. We need more pepper. We need more salt. I think that personally needs some smoked paprika in it, so I'm just going to... what the heck, give it a bit more salt there. Let's be generous. We're okay for garlic. I'm going to get some smoked paprika in there. Where's my smoked paprika? There we go. So I'm going to drop a little of that in. I say a little. A generous amount. Give that a stir. And now we're going to just put on a low heat with the nice sauces that have been getting going over here. Where's my oil gone? Oil, yeah. I mean, gamble all. You can't have, if the recipe says 3 cloves, you'll put in 10. Oh, sorry, Lewis. In fact, the reason I don't is I cook for my audience, so a bit more oil. Mrs. L's not fond of too much garlic. Nice as a background note, but not much more than that. So that's going to mix in with the actual pasta. So this is just sauce game, if you like. So that's going to now bubble away quietly. These are the vegetables that we're going to mix with the fresh pasta. Lewis, thank you very much. And in fact, can one of my very lovely mods remind me that Tingewick has redeemed a dramatic reading. Ooh, a bit of a bubble there. And I have not got to hand an ability to give him one. So I owe him a dramatic reading tomorrow. So someone please remind me at the end of the stream. My appalling memory. So let's let that percolate and bubble away. Bit of salt on the vegetables. Let's give them a mix through. And what I will also do is... Who did? You'll refund the point. No, it's all right, I'll make sure I do it tomorrow, but it was Tingewick. Actually, no, that's a good idea. If you want to refund it, Tingewick, if you're with us tomorrow, redeem them again. I shall do it then. So let's move. What I've effectively made is chaos. Yes, it was definitely Tingewick did, because we then started talking about redeeming WAP, and how that's probably not going to happen. Thank you very much, Omega. Tingewick, redeem them again tomorrow, and I will give you a dramatic reading of yours or chat's choice. And I don't know if anyone would be. You are less bothered than Amazon about throwing... No, Tingewick, I want you to get your optimum dramatic reading experience. I don't know, we asked this, folks. Now, how many people would be interested in doing a cooking along stream? Because it's been a while since we've done a pasta one. There's a really nice one that Mrs. Owl likes that involves a Gordon Ramsay recipe. So here we go. Oh, where's my camera gone? It's over here. So here is the sauce. Try it again. That's much better. Okay, that's nice. I'll get Mrs. Owl to see what she thinks, because she's got an outstanding palate. In fact, let's switch around the hobs a little bit. Whoops, daisy. I dropped a little bit of a leaf of something on there, and that's catching fire. Ow, ow, ow. Right, so let's ignore the burning smell, chat. That's my mistake. But I hope our raiders were having a lovely stream and having a lovely time. Someone tell me, what were you playing? What were you up to? Don't burn. Unfortunately, Fox, I may have done. So here we go. So let's keep the sauce just going to percolate nicely. We're hungry. I'm sorry, Joker. I'm sorry. Do you know what? Speaking of hungry, though, the next giveaway we do will involve more food. We can't smell the burn, but the food is smelling good. Thank you, Rain. Thank you. You covered me there. You covered me well. Thank you very much. I'm a big fan of paprika, so I'm going to put a bit more smoked paprika on our courgette and our peppers. Let's just get the fresh pasta slowly cooking in the background. And we will at some point do a making of pasta stream, I promise you, because I've been looking forward to doing that for a long time. Oh, Lewis, thank you very much. That is much needed. Whew. So, here we go. Actually, I'll have a bit more. Lewis has done it fine. Rain, unfortunately not this time. However, it's a sort of nice story that I've got, is that when I and Mrs. Owl went on honeymoon, we went to Florence and we actually spent time making pasta with an Italian chef. And that's why I'd really like to do it again. And I'd like to do it with you guys. And we can have a go and make some fresh tagliatelle. So, just going to make sure I get all of the passata out of here. Lewis is an Italian chef. Well, Lewis, why aren't you streaming food? We should have you do food. You've also made a pizza. I'll tell you something, that's something that you probably won't ever see me make on stream, is a pizza, because my brother, bless him, has basically perfected making homemade pizzas. And I think anything that I do will be a sore and pale comparator. Now I can safely use the two because we're not cross-contaminating. They'll all mix eventually. What I love is that as the people who've arrived here and the people who chat with us, we have a nice foodie group. People that either like food or like to cook or like to bake. It makes this just very enjoyable for me. I just get to cook with nice people. That is not a bad way to be, I can tell you that for nothing, as my grandfather used to say. I'm not sure I'd ever charge us for telling us something, but... Hello, Taurus! Taurus, my goodness, it's been a while since we've seen you. How are you? Are you well? Ladies and gentlemen, Taurus is back. Taurus, we are making Arrabiata sauce. Fresh pasta is going to go with vegetables, so a very simple, wholesome and hearty Italian meal. But we ran out of our favourite sauce, so we have made it. And at some point soon, I'm going to call Mrs. Owl down, because she always tells me not to blow her trumpet, but I'm going to. She's got an amazing palate. It's actually better than mine. And she can detect ingredients down to a T. She will know if something is missing, and she will know it instantly. So really, I need to basically trade my tongue in for a better tongue, but you know what I mean. Let's get rid of a couple of ingredients here so when we plate up. Goodness gracious, hang on. I like this. Falama drops in, simply goes, here's a sub. I'm gone. I'm walking the dog. Falama, thank you very, very much indeed. What a start. And Falama, back on Monday, ladies and gentlemen. If you don't, go watch them. Click that name. Go click the name Falama. Go follow them. Go watch them. I spend lots of my time doing just that. Marvellous chaps that they are. Right, I'm going to get some of this out of the way whilst we're bubbling away happily. Let's drop that into there. Let's do a little... lovely to have you back, Falana. Really lovely. Looking forward to your return. I need another implement. There we go. I've also written... No chicken today? No chicken today, Taurus. You wouldn't say marvellous, Falama, so I'll say it for you because it's true. So there you go. You can't escape the truth. The truth will find you. It may, like me, find you with a dramatic hand wave. No, it'll find you. Or it'll just find you more. Right, let's just, whilst this is getting ready, quick clean there. And let's get that ready. Another good reason to clean down as opposed to The practicality. Whoops, there, Daisy. I've let them stick a bit. Hang on. Whoops. And now I have a tile falling in. Stay there. Aha, right, hang on. Goodness gracious. Oh, excuse me. Woo, 19. Folks, that is as much as we've ever had in our little corner of the world. 19 of you. That is amazing. Thank you very, very much. And speaking of marvellous people, here is Cinders. Hello, Cinders. How was work? You had your first day back, didn't you? How did that go? You all right? Did everybody behave themselves? Here we go. So we clean down the work area in readiness for placing up. Where are my Puke's Korean bowls? They will be called for. Aha, aha. Hang on, chicken. Leave that there. Leave that back where we live. Right. Folks, I think it is time. I'm going to summon Mrs. Owl and see if she will come do... shite. I mean, shizer. I mean, drat. Nobody heard me swear. They're nicely coloured. Be what we will go with. Right, that's off. Sauce there. Pasta doing. Over we go. Welcome back, folks. Sorry about the earthquake camera work there, just for a second. Nero Ryhan has joined the roost. Thank you very much, Nero. Welcome on in. Welcome, welcome, welcome. He said Shungite. I did, Dylan. Thank you for covering me. Actually, there was a moment, Lewis, when I realised I had left out the key ingredients after hours of baking for the hot cross bun loaf. I think I exclaimed the equivalent of son of a witch. I completely left out the flavouring for the entire bake that turned it into a hot cross bun loaf and just couldn't believe it. Right, just have a quick taste of the pasta. And Falama, you're far too kind. In fact, Falama, I'm going to just quietly, with or without your permission, plug you here. When you're coming back on Monday, what are you coming back with? Or are you going to tell us over the weekend? Hello, Nero. Hello, hello, hello. Ooh, ha, that's hot. That's hot. Hang on. That's nearly ready, though. Okay. Let's just put a bit more water on. Folks, don't have a plug socket. Hang on, what did I miss? Oh, I'm going to plug you. That's... Alright, Falama, you got me there. Go to plug me. Chat, wait with me for 1 second. I'm just going to ask Mrs. Owl to come down and join us if she's free. Bear with me a moment. Right, here she comes, folk, the poor hard-working lass. Got to come join us and see what's missing from this sauce. In fact, here we go. So this is what we've spent the last sort of hour doing. We started with a trifecta of... Well, let's tilt it. We started with celery, an onion and carrot, grated over garlic, chili's gone in there too. We've got parsley, we've got basil, we've got salt, pepper. That is then mixed with tomato passata. And we've allowed that to sort of go down. I did a taste test, wasn't too happy with it. So I've added in a whole load more salt and pepper, which I think has done the trick a little bit. We've added some paprika. Hello, my love. Hard-working lady. I'm just telling everyone what's gone in. We have 19 lovely people joining us tonight. Ooh. So also the camera angle is slightly wonky because I changed it over there. So Mrs. Owl is here, and here is the spoon.
You want me to use that one?
Yeah. So here we go. So
Looks good. It's chunky.
As I say, I didn't end up blending it because it looked nice. You filthy animal with paprika. So this will be a really good guide for us as to what else was needed, because I know you don't like me plugging your palate, but it really is good. No? Happy? What do you think it needs? To be candid. Want it a bit hotter?
Oh no, I think the spice is fine.
Okay, spice, good.
I think more pepper.
More pepper.
Yeah.
That it?
Maybe a bit more salt.
A bit more pepper, a bit more salt. That's it?
Yeah, it tastes nice. What,
Yeah.
I mean, what do you think?
I like it, but as I say, my palate misses things that yours doesn't. So, have another little celery. Yeah?
Yeah, I like
In
it.
that case, I know what I'm going to do. Thank you very much, my love.
That's okay. We'll just stay down here now.
Mwah. Okay. Public displays of Twitch affection. I'm going to be banned in a minute. So, in that case, what we shall do... I feel that should be a stream all about Mrs. Owl's palate. Mr. Owl, you'll never guess what. We had to shut the pub early as there was no gas or extractor fans working. Oh, you're kidding. Oh, goodness gracious me. What we're going to... Cinders, I feel for you. You think it'll be comforting? Right, Mrs. Owl is happy. Oh, Omega Felix says, good evening.
Good evening.
I've made you sound very posh and like you're from Kent, Omega. I know that you do sound posh because you are, in fact, you know, secretly of royalty, I am sure. Going to paprika and now a kiss. I can hear the Twitch drama blowing up. That's about as much drama as we'll have around here. Also, what I just said, I don't drink on my break, it's only Pepsi. You want some mid-work drinking? No one here's going to tell on you, Lewis, you'll be fine. I'm the poshest of them all, especially with those masks, Omega. I mean, I can see royalty wearing wrestling masks. See you in a bit, Cinders. Oh yes, the Falon was just saying about this in the Scotch egg being a substantial meal. We were having the same conversation. It really does depend where you're from. Because, I mean, if you're from...
You know there's a pub somewhere
Yeah.
that has named one of their drinks a Scotch egg.
You're kidding. We'll find a way around this. Oh, dear me. Right, all of this veg is going in with the pasta, so I'm going to try and balance this, but this is designed to be heart... Oh, God, that's really bad Twitch stream. I'm sorry, I'm showing you the back end of a pan. Let's do it this way. That's
Remember
better.
that deep-fried poached egg that we used
Oh,
to
I do,
have?
yeah. That was really good. We've got Cynical Waffle. Hello, Waffle. The stars have aligned, they have. And just as we were discussing how we'd had deep-fried Scotched egg, and it was with a...
No, deep-fried poached egg.
Oh, poached eggs. What was it with? It was with some kind of sauce, wasn't it?
I can't even remember what it was with, but I just remember it was just the best thing ever.
It was. Oh, so good. Maybe I'll make that sometime. How did the voice audition go? I haven't heard back yet, but it's set me off in a sort of I want to go and explore it mood. So there'll probably be more of that coming up in the future. But it's lovely to have you here, Watt. I'm so glad the stars have aligned once more. For those of you who've never seen Waffle before, I know you probably all know him, but if you don't, go and follow the man. He's first-person shooter extraordinaire. And just a lovely fellow to boot. And with the most phenomenal job title. I've got engineers in chat. I mean, far more interesting than anything I'll ever do. Right, so I'm going to... I mean, I don't actually know how much of this sauce, because we normally just use a jar. So I'm going to start with 2 ladles full. And we're going to just work it in on low heat. And we're going to put in, at Mrs. Owl's suggestion, some more pepper, some more salt. We're going to just try and get a nice, even coating across all of the ingredients. You've recently fallen in love with Risk of Rain too. Ooh, what's that about? You have to tell me, what's that about? We recently played a game, Mrs. Owl and I, called TikTok, a Game for Two. Oh, Falama, it's broken. The shouting out is literally me at this point shouting. politely and in dulcet tones. I need to go and fix it. Something happened at some point and all my settings went a bit kafooey, which is a real word, I promise. Right, we want a bit more sauce than that. In fact, would you like a really saucy Arrabiata, my love?
Yes.
Yes? Right, heck with it. Let's just do... We've made it, it's going in. Let's make this a big, unctuous, happy Italian bowl of loveliness.
Have you made a note of what went in?
Absolutely not.
What made you to give this to the...
Don't shout too loud, the neighbours will complain. You're quite right. I shall say it in dulcet tones. I'm very fortunate that I've stumbled upon the most marvellous and talented upcoming Twitch streamers that I could want, who basically could cover me from midnight to midnight with content. And that's probably not exaggeration, because we've got folks that have come from Singapore, and we've got Malaysia and Australia, and we've got America, we've got Canada. I was about to say the only place where we're possibly missing is China, but China, I think, interestingly, don't allow Twitch. I think it's one of their banned sites. That pan is dangerously full. It is. So what we're going to do now that I think that's been, hopefully, properly mixed in. Actually, I am an absolute clot. Wait a minute, chat. I have a much bigger pan right here. There we go. That did it. That was a fairly satisfying noise as well, wasn't it? So now this pan is not so dangerously full even, I can see that we weren't properly mixed. That's technique for you there, Nero. That's what the chat's here for. And for anyone who's new, by the way, again, a massive welcome. I should add, I'm not a professional chef. I'm just a highly enthused amateur that really does not mind making mistakes in front of all of you lovely people who are fantastically forgiving. Right, that's better. Mr. Owl is a steamy fellow. Well, when you get me onto 50 Shades of Gravy, I tell you what, actually, is Tindrick still here? I couldn't do your reading this time, but we have so many people. Shall we have a dramatic reading whilst this eats up of 50 Shades of Gravy? Hang on a minute. This is level of sauce. Right, let's pop back on over to the plating station. Oop, hang on. Plating station, and I shall just change the angle of the leg. Hello, Alice. How are you? Falama, thank you very much for that big shout out to our brand new members. Thank you, Nero. I will. Honestly, it will. We will not really be. You'll never really see things explode unless we get to the computer games. It's all very calm here. Dramatic reading is called for. Where is 50 Shades of Gravy? I tell you what. My love, do you want to just say stop? And I'll flick, and when I get to a page, I'll read whichever one we've got.
Okay, stop.
Uh-oh. This leaves me worried. We've opened on desserts. Oh, no. Oh, I can't believe I'm about to read this. Ladies and gentlemen, from the book A 50 Shades of Gravy, this dessert is known as a lovely, juicy pair of melons, a couple of creamy jugs, and two great big wobblers. Cantaloupe melons served with twin jugs of fresh cream and 2 jellies. And indeed the recipe declares, who doesn't love melons? Well, some prefer a banana, and who can blame them? But I have a recipe that will win over even the most hardened nanophile. Grab your melons and simply whop them out, and that's pretty much it. Served this way, au naturel, they are impossible to resist. Some people, idiots I call them, claim that melons are incompatible without a bit of undercooked Italian meat thrust between them, but I simply do not subscribe to that school of pork thought. Instead, relish in simplicity and symmetry by completing your dinner display with 2 great big jugs of cream and a couple of wobblers or jellies. You will need, for this particular recipe, which is a genuine dessert, so there is actually a recipe in here somewhere amongst the complete filth, 2 cantaloupe melons, 300 millimetres of single cream, 300 millimetres of whipping cream, 2 packets of jelly, and 4 maraschino cherries. The recipe is to set the jellies in separate bowls, and when ready, remove onto a serving dish and place a halved cherry atop each half. I think we can all guess what that is meant to look like. Halve the melons and remove the seeds. Turn skin side up and place a halved cherry atop each. Also, I think we can guess what that's meant to look like. Whip the cream and place in one jug and pour single cream into the other jug. This is nice actually. It actually does give an interesting culinary bit. Apparently, or am I just being really naive? Apparently this is an actual dessert called a six tit. Is that actually a thing, or am I just gullible? I have to look that up. But basically, it's sort of like, what are they called? A bundt cake, but out of jelly. So they've got a hole in the middle of them. So maybe I'll have to, for the kitchen streams, include 50 Shades of Gravy. We'll get through the whole book at some point. Anyway, back from the filth. Let's see how the sauce is getting on. That's coming together quite nicely. Let's just, as Mrs. Owl suggested, a bit more pepper in there, because there'll also be a dash across the top as well for presentation. So pepper has gone on. We're going to do just a little bit more. There's a joke there to be made about the bundt cake. Yeah, I think I made sorry, Fulham. I think I produced an unusual amount of double entendre for a stream. I think we shall leave it there. So that's the last of the seasoning in. We've got it bubbling nicely up the sides. So now, just for hopefully presentation. Did you want them in our small bowls, my love?
Yeah, sure.
Sure?
Yeah.
Okay. Right, try and make this as neat as I can. It's time to actually go walk the dog. Falama, enjoy walking the dog. I shall just plate up now. So try and make this as neat as we can. Give you chicken face first. Be brief and a blast. It's always a blast having you, Falama. Take care. We'll look forward to seeing you on Monday. Or before, indeed, if we are so fortunate. But enjoy your dog walk. So there we go. So that's just a healthy, happy bowl of pasta, veg, and homemade Arrabiata sauce for my poor and lovely Mrs. Owl, who's worked her socks off today and deserves a nice bowl of something comforting. So let's... Could you just grab me the pepper, my love? Try and make this as neat as we can.
Yeah, it's not a very watery
It's
sauce.
not as watery as the other one. I'm going to just put a little bit of parmesan on mine. Not for you, my love, because you don't like it. I'm saying that as though you don't know that. Folks, we are therefore coming to the very end of our stream, except for
I want to try it.
a taste test. So, there we are. That is in a... just going to look, no worries, Omega. We will chat later. Thank you for joining us for so long.
This one.
That one is yours. So we are nearly at an end. So I'm going to do a grate of pepper. Let me just find some parmesan for me. And I won't use the same grater. Sorry, my love, can I scooch in here? Thank you. Boom, 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 boom. And then a lot of washing up on my part. Happy? Haha, dancing.
I think it definitely could be saucier though.
Could be saucier. Okay, that's a good note for future because I could always put more passata in.
Or a bit of water.
A little bit of water. Right,
Or
so
like
a
a tin of tomatoes.
little grating of parmesan there. Look at that. I know you don't like it, Mug, but even for me, the sight of it, the visual is lovely. So there we go.
But
Fox,
yeah,
your company, tasty. That's what I was after. The game is rigged. Lewis, I'll rig it the other way for you. I'm sorry, I mean, no, it's not rigged. May I say thank you very much to absolutely everybody for joining us. I could eat it off the street, which will move it towards you. Chicken and bear. I'm just going to try a little bit.
It's a dog, isn't it?
It's a duck. Oh, sorry. I call him a chicken all this time.
No, you haven't. You call him a duck.
Do I? Right, I'm just going to try something now. Okay, I know it's a lot of effort to do it rather than opening a jar, but that's nice. Could be saucier. The heat's there,
Yeah, it's
but not too
spicy.
much. I've just forgotten. Before we go, folks, here's the nugget. Here's the story that I nearly forgot to tell you, because we went on holiday for the first time in Rome. Couldn't find anywhere to eat. So I got takeout from a
No,
traditional...
it wasn't. I couldn't walk because
Oh,
we
you
spent
were-
the day walking way too far because we
And you were
overestimated our abilities and we underestimated
the size of Rome.
how massive Rome was.
So you were in agony in the room, you're right. And I
Yeah.
went out to go and find food.
Yeah.
But
nowhere
Omega,
did
thank you for the
takeout.
host. Nowhere did
Because it's little
takeout.
trattorias, so why would they?
So I found a little Italian restaurant who, when I told them of Mrs. Owl's plight, said, yeah, of course you can have it takeaway. And I said, I'll just have 2 penne Arrabiatas. So they said, fine, here you go. Took them away. We had some big Peronis in the room. Took one bite of it, and I'm not kidding, I turned bright red and sweat just poured off me. We
It
drank...
was so hot.
It was the hottest thing I've ever eaten. We drank those 2 Peronis in one go.
just to keep our mouths cool.
And I had to go out and find more.
Yeah.
It's just amazing. So this has a fond place in our sort of culinary memory. But there we go. I didn't forget before the stream ends. Folks, thank you everyone for joining us. We're going to go and put our feet up and enjoy this. We will be back tomorrow. I haven't quite decided what we'll do, but I shall tell
But
you
you're
all.
not going to do Rimworld?
It'll either be Rimworld, or if a certain someone is about, it might be 7 Days to Die.
Okay, cool.
But it'll be something chilled and relaxed at about 7:30 in the evening. So folks, until then, thank you very much. This has been the most action-packed stream we've had in the kitchen, I think, in terms of numbers. It's been a pleasure having you all. Thank you all to our new followers. Thank you to our subscribers, new Falana. Thank you, Nero. Alice, thank you for joining us. Rain and Joker and all the guys from the raid, thank you for being here and staying in. And we will be back tomorrow. Toodaloo, one and all.
Bye.
Here is where I can never hit the end button. Toodaloo, everyone.